We have another exciting podcast for you today. So we did a webinar a couple of days ago with our partners Payoneer, and we've got the recording of that. And what we've done, we've just edited it and scrubbed it up a little bit just to really get this out there for you so that you can really hear from the webinar and the information that we had from Payoneer. Absolutely crucial step for helping you to expand. Getting payments from Amazon, paying of VAT to HMRC are the two crucial steps that people find really, really difficult. It's an amazing podcast. It's a great listen, and I hope you enjoy it.
E-commerce expansion myths blasted. Successful cross-border expansion help. Listen to the show to hear how one UK company is helping e-commerce sellers successfully expand into Europe and double their profits. Hosted by Andy Hooper of Global E-commerce Experts.
Hi everyone, I'm sorry about the delay, but thank you very much for joining us on what promises to be a really exciting webinar. So thank you very much for joining us. I can see there's a good few of you listening in. So thank you very much for giving up your time to come and hear a bit more information from Payoneer, and more importantly, how you can expand over into Europe, but also get paid both from Amazon and to pay HMRC or VAT bill, which is a crucial step in understanding and making your successful expansion really, really work for you. So we've got some really exciting people on the line that I'm going to introduce you to. So one of the first people I'm going to introduce you to is one of the other panelists, which is Robert. So Robert is from Payoneer, and he'll be joining us very, very shortly. So agenda. Here we go. So today's webinar, as I've already mentioned, is in conjunction with Payoneer. They're a great ambassador for what we do. We work with them very closely, and many of you may have joined them through a link through ours already. So really what we're going to cover is how to get paid by Amazon. It's a crucial step to help you reduce the fees, especially if you currently get paid by Amazon directly. How to pay your VAT to HMRC, paying UK-based companies with ease, and we're also going to talk about the GE Expanders group that should be really exciting for many of you to go on to. So that's it from me. We're going to move straight into Robert now. So I'm going to welcome Robert, and Robert's going to introduce himself, and we're going to move on from there. So Robert, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and doing this webinar with you guys. Thank you for the invite and for letting me discuss what Payoneer is. I'm looking forward to answering any questions that you guys have. So feel free to interject or to chat and write any questions you have, and we'll definitely get to them. So I am the head of sales here for Payoneer. I've been a member of the company since 2017 and seen a whole bunch of different transitions from the company, and have helped a lot of international e-commerce sellers grow their business and help them sort of utilize the service to make as much money as they possibly can and to grow their business as much as they can. This is the agenda I was hoping to discuss today. So sort of just a little overview of an introduction to Payoneer, our global payment services, our capital advance and growing with Payoneer. And similar to what Andy discussed, I will also go into how you can pay the HMRC or your VAT tax. So again, bear with me. Thank you so much for joining, and feel free to ask any questions you might have. So this is sort of Payoneer as an overview. So we work with around 4 million account holders. There's 16 global offices around the world. We have the ability to pay out in 150 different currencies. We work in over 200 countries and territories. And then obviously, if you see in the top right corner, these are the different global bank accounts that we can provide for you. So we can give you an account in the United States, in Canada, Mexico, Japan, China, Australia, the UK, and Europe. And that 4 million account holders has actually grown quite a bit since the closing of the world first office in the US. We've actually brought on a lot more Amazon sellers now that are using us for their international business. And this is a quick sort of glance at what Payoneer does. So obviously we're working with cross-border businesses, helping them bring their currencies back into whatever home currency they have. There are, in the 16 global offices, we have 70+ languages that we can support. There's 24/7 customer support. We have positioned ourselves to always be available for our clients and to help them in whatever resources that they need.
Can I just ask a question, Robert? Sorry there.
Yeah.
So 24/7 service. So presumably wherever they are in the world, they can always get to speak to someone.
Yep, that is completely correct. But the way that we like to discuss it is that we have customer service that follows the sun. So wherever the sun is rising, we have an office there with their own dedicated customer support team that is able to speak 70 plus different languages. So if there is anyone that needs anything, we could probably handle it.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Absolutely. And like I was discussing earlier, we can provide different bank accounts in different countries. There's 8 different countries. And these are our banking partners. So the partners that we bank with are sort of the leading banks around the world, people that can be trusted. So these are we're able to give you a bank account through these different banks, so you could receive the local currency there. So obviously, if you were a client hoping to receive U.S. dollars, our banking partner is Bank of America. So we would give you a local collections account through Bank of America that you would be able to receive the U.S. dollars in. And then this next area, the global payment services, is actually, I would say, the key resource in helping Amazon sellers. So one of the main things that we like to discuss and separate is that we provide 3 things for our sellers. It is to be able to receive the funds, to pay with the funds, and to grow the business in the different currencies. Perfect. So yeah, these are the 3 main pillars that we like to discuss: the collect, pay, and grow. And in that collect area is the largest area that we think that we can help Amazon sellers. So for example, let's say you were a US based seller selling on Amazon UK. What would occur would be every 14 days, Amazon would go out and pay you your sales in British pounds. However, what they would do is they would look into your account and see that you have a local US bank account there. And what they would say to themselves is, hey, we can't pay this person British pounds. So what we're going to do for them is we're going to convert their funds into US dollars. However, we're going to charge them 4% for doing that. And all sellers are automatically opted into it. It's called Amazon Currency Conversion Solution. So what our solution does is we would give you a local bank account through Barclays that you would log into your Amazon Central Sellers account, put in that new Barclays bank details. And now what would happen is every 14 days, Amazon would see that you have a British pounds account, and they would pay you those British pounds into that Barclays account, and it would completely avoid that 4% fee. So it really comes down to a huge amount of savings that you can get every single payment. And what's really cool about Payoneer is that when those British pounds are sitting in your Payoneer account through Barclays, you would have a few different options. So one of the main options that we discussed would be paying. So you could actually pay your HMRC bill through Payoneer. So we're a partner with the HMRC. So when you would be in your Payoneer portal, where you would log in, you would see your current balance of British pounds, and you would have the ability to pay your VAT directly there just by putting in your VAT number. So it really helps a lot of sellers because it avoids double conversion from, let's say, British pounds to US dollars, and then US dollars back to British pounds to send a wire. You can just do everything directly from that balance. And within Payoneer, you would be able to receive that balance in 8 different currencies and be able to pay out in those different currencies.
Yeah, I think, Robert, I think that's, let me just interject there on that, on the HMRC side. I think that's it's a massive opportunity for sellers to save a significant amount of money with, you know, if they're, I mean, in theory, every payment they get from Amazon, they should be saving 20% for the UK government anyway, based on their sales. So 20% of that should be saved to one side anyway. So there's no need to really move that out of that account and just pay HMRC when it's ready on a quarterly basis. It's a much more efficient way of doing it. So I think that's a great opportunity for sellers.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of sellers take advantage of this and have really saved a lot of money on it, from avoiding that double conversion, from avoiding wire fees, because the payment directly from the Payoneer portal into the HMRC is completely free. And additionally, if a seller were to sell in any of the other European nations, if they had to pay the German tax authority or the French tax authority, they can do all of that within their Payoneer portal. So that in that drop-down box where you could pay the HMRC, you would have the ability to pay pretty much everyone else as well.
Fantastic.
And then this is just sort of a high glimpse of what the Payoneer account can do for you. So I know we've touched upon most of it in terms of receiving the funds, converting the funds to your home currency. Additionally, one of the tools that we like to teach our sellers about is the ability to pay someone in the Payoneer network. So for example, if I'm using Payoneer and your company, Global E-commerce Experts, and I had to pay you a monthly bill or a quarterly bill or whatever it would be, all I would have to do is actually log into my Payoneer account and put in your email address. And then if I had extra British pounds or extra euros or extra US dollars, whatever it happened to be, I would be able to choose what currency I wanted to pay you and pay you directly into your Payoneer account, which saves international wire fees, banking fees, etc. So the payment between the network is completely free. So we've seen a lot of sellers take advantage of that as well by bringing on local accountants or bringing on local suppliers based around the world on the Payoneer network and just paying them directly through the service.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I suppose if I can, just from a global e-commerce expert's point of view, it's a great way of paying us as well. I know that some people pay that on a monthly or quarterly fee or annual fee, but we obviously accept that here, which makes life a lot easier for you as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a huge advantage for our sellers. Instead of having to go to the bank and then putting in a let's say a UK bank account if they're based in the US, it can get pretty costly. But this is just simply as putting in your email address, and then the funds would be deducted right from your balance into your Payoneer account.
Exactly that, because a lot of people pay us either via wire transfer, which we all know is expensive, along with a credit card on our website, again, which is fine. But really, if they've got that money, they don't pay. It all works, how does it work from an interest point of view compared to a card or a wire transfer? Is there a way of?
Great question. Yeah, so it's actually it's completely free. So there is no interest fee or anything along those lines. If in that situation, what we would suggest would be the supplier would let them know how much the bill is. They could actually even send them an invoice through their Payoneer account. So Andy, what would be pretty cool is you can actually log on to Payoneer, create an invoice, and send it to me on my Payoneer account simply by putting in my email address. I would receive that notification, log on to my Payoneer account. Let's say I owed you X amount of US dollars. I would just be able to deduct my US dollar balance and pay it to you. Or if you sent me that bill in British pounds, I had a balance in British pounds from Amazon UK, I would just be able to deduct that balance from my British pounds account and simply pay it into your account. Free for both of us to receive the funds and to send the funds. So it's really just whatever the cost is, you don't have to factor anything else in.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a great opportunity for sellers, isn't it? Again, to reduce their costs when we know that selling on Amazon can be really tight margins. So great opportunity again for people.
Absolutely, yes, exactly. People definitely take advantage of it and love it, which is a huge service that we provide. This is just a quick little glimpse of the VAT authorities that we can pay. So when you would log into your Payoneer account, under the Pay VAT options, these flags would pop up, and you would just be able to choose which authority that you wanted to pay. Simply by clicking on it and then putting in your VAT number, we would be able to make that payment and complete it for you.
Just a quick question there, Robert. So with specifically France and Spain,
yep,
and Italy, basically to pay the VAT in those countries, you have to have a fiscal representation in those countries. So what you're saying there is that you can, because that you essentially have a bank account in that country, you can pay direct to the governments in those countries.
That is absolutely 100% correct. So with those fiscal reps, what would happen from a seller's point of view is they would receive a bill from their fiscal rep saying that they had to pay X amount of euros to the French government through this specific bank account, and it would be the fiscal rep's bank details. What the seller would do from Payoneer, they would simply log into Payoneer, click on this French flag, put in the bank account details of the fiscal rep, and pay the balance directly to them, and that is a free payment. from Payoneer to that fiscal rep. So if you just owed, let's say, €1,000, it would simply just be €1,000 that you would deduct from your balance by putting in their bank details, and then we'll take care of the rest, making sure they receive the payment.
Oh, that's excellent. Brilliant. Thank you.
This is another service that Payoneer has just come out with helping sellers grow. So it's a capital advance product. So we obviously deal with many, many Amazon sellers, from some that are just starting to some very large brands. And one of the common tools that we see in e-commerce is that people just need more capital to help grow their business. So we've come out with a tool to help our sellers gain more capital and grow their business into either by buying more inventory from their suppliers or simply growing into new marketplaces, and they just need extra capital to be able to weigh the difference in getting there. So the way that the capital advance works, and something very, very cool, is that a seller would simply log on to Payoneer and log on to Amazon, and they would connect their Amazon MWS token into Payoneer, and they would connect a Payoneer US bank account under their company name to Amazon.com. And what would happen would be Amazon would pay out the seller on their every 2-week platform, and Payoneer would be able to assess how much money that they make in sales on a monthly basis, and Payoneer would offer them the ability to receive double that money. So now, if let's say a seller were to receive $100,000 in Amazon US monthly, Payoneer would match that $100,000. So now the seller could pull out $200,000 right away. And then when the duration of the capital advance product was done, which is a brand new product, so it'll be about 90 days later, the seller would pay back that original $100,000 advance, and then the fee is annualized to around 8% for the year. So it's an incredible way to get extra capital. We've seen a lot of sellers take advantage of this. If for some reason they didn't manage their books properly, where they had to pay the HMRC on a quarterly basis, we've seen sellers take this advance, convert the funds into British pounds, and then be able to pay the HMRC directly.
Yeah, fantastic. The other on that is, you said that they can do the capital. Can they do that on the other marketplaces as well, or is it just limited to the US marketplace at the moment?
Right now it's limited to the US marketplace, but I believe we should be seeing a change in that in either April or May, where they'll be able to take on the other marketplaces as well. So not just US, but hopefully Canada, Europe, and the UK as well. So they'll be able to take advances on all those different currencies.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, the majority of our clients are US based anyway, so most of them have got a US marketplace. US marketplace first, so that's right. Probably no problems at all. But yeah, it's good to know that's coming as well.
Absolutely. And then this was just some popular things that we've seen people take capital advance for. Obviously, purchase more inventory ahead of the holiday rush. We've seen sellers actually able to get discounts from their suppliers by, instead of being able to purchase X amount, they're now purchasing X times 2, so they're able to get a deduction on the cost of the products. So we've been seeing a lot of different use cases for it, and a lot of people taking advantage of it and very excited about it. And within the Payoneer ecosystem, obviously our goal is to help you receive your funds, pay different suppliers, and grow your business. So we have a long range of different partners where we can help out in a variety of different things. So always feel free to reach out to us, especially if you're struggling to get into a new marketplace or struggling with a specific part of your business. I'm sure we can point you in the right direction. And these are just some of the different partners that we're able to help you out with and help you grow the business. And then Payoneer also is partners with a lot of these different marketplaces based around the world. So if you were an Amazon seller selling great and wanted to expand to, let's say, a South American marketplace, with our partnership with Mercado Libre, let's say, we could make the correct introductions and have you up and running on a new marketplace very, very shortly, as opposed to going the more traditional route and reaching out on your own. Through our relationships, we're able to help you get set up a little bit faster than as if you were doing it on your own. And yeah, thank you so much for the time and for inviting me onto this. Feel free to ask any questions from anyone. And this is my direct contact information. So if there's anything that you had questions about or wanted to ask me on my own, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'm always around, so can respond extremely quickly for you.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Rob. Really appreciate your time. I think that's been some really useful information. I think for the people listening, I think the key thing is that you can get a big reduction in essentially in the fees or interest that you're being charged transferring payments all across the world. And it's a simple and easy process to do. How do people go about setting up, Rob?
Yeah, it's very, very simple. What a seller can do is just shoot me an email directly to my account. And then from there, I will take it on personally and be able to walk them through the setup process extremely quickly. So yeah, feel free to just reach out to me directly, and I can always take care of them.
Okay, fine. So it's a pretty straightforward process and nice and easy to do, and should provide pretty easy for our clients to sign up, basically, for those that aren't already signed up. So paying HMRC VAT bill, quite often we get, for certainly new sellers, they might only have 40 or 50 pounds to pay. And when you've got to pay HMRC a small amount and the wire fee is exactly the same amount, it seems ludicrous. So having a Payoneer account is a great way of going around doing that and making sure that people can do it. So that's brilliant. So thank you very much, Rob. So one last thing that I wanted to touch on before we say goodbye to the Payoneer team is, so there's a Facebook group called GE Expanders where you can come in and register, and we'll as long as you're a client of Global E-commerce Experts, we'll get you in there. And then really what the focus of that group is to really give first-hand information directly to sellers who are our clients to help you to expand more quickly. One of the things we're going to be launching as of next week will be Seller of the Month. So you'll be able to see real people getting real awards that have been the Seller of the Month. And what we're going to do is we're then going to interview those as well and ask them some questions about, what they've done to make their expansion a success. So you can go to Facebook and go to the group GEE Expanders, and we've got all of the information there, which is really, really useful information to help you expand successfully. We've also got our free resource on our website, www.expandtotheeu.com, where you'll be able to find all our podcasts along with our expansion series as well, where you can go through the step-by-step process to help you to expand your business over here in Europe. So some great resources, all free for you to help you to expand quickly. And, by being a client of ours, you'll also get these great webinars from our partners at Payoneer and other venues that we'll be bringing over time. But Payoneer, I really want to say thank you very much for your time. Is there some social media that people can hook you up on, or is it just search Payoneer in the usual search boxes on social media and that people will be able to find you?
Yeah, you could always search us on social media. Payoneer has a huge blog that helps out different sellers based around the world. We have forums that take place around the world, and especially in different countries where there's very, very high intense learning. So sellers can always find us on our blog. Again, I always love to just, if a seller ever needed anything, client or not client, they can always email me. And again, I'm always glad to point them in the right direction to help them out any way I can.
Excellent. So thank you very much to Payoneer. We really appreciate your time and your effort to help us pull together this webinar. We hope that's been a really useful webinar for people on the other end of the line, and we hope you've taken time to do it. I know it's a valuable time that you have, and we appreciate you listening, and hopefully it's been of use to help your payments quickly and more effectively over the coming months going forwards. So thank you very much, everyone. That's it from us, and we look forward to speaking to you next time. Well, I told you that was going to be an amazing podcast. Really, really useful stuff. I hope you've got a huge amount from that. Really, really useful information. So you can see how easy it is for you to transfer money around the EU. Just as a recap, Don't forget our free tools on expandtotheeu.com. Huge amount of resources available to you. Along with the podcast, you've got the vlog, the blog, and the expansion series. Make sure you register for the expansion series, help you to expand step by step into the EU marketplaces. And obviously you can catch us on all the usual social media, Global E-commerce Experts. Thanks very much for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you on another podcast real soon.